Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Claire Lake with the Success Academy Enrollment Department. Welcome, families. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening to learn more about your New York City educational options, specifically for kindergarten and through elementary school and, of course, beyond, because, it really does go fast and it's going to be over before you know it. But first, I want to thank everyone for joining us. This is our webinar, More Asian Families Are Choosing Charter Schools and How Success Academy Compares with G&T Programs. I want to quickly introduce and thank Wei-Hua Chin, founding president of Chinese American Citizens Alliance Greater New York, or for short, CACAGNY, for organizing this event. We'll come back to her in just a moment. We also have current Success Academy Cobble Hill kindergarten parent, Jen Wang, who will join us, and she will also translate into Mandarin at the end of my presentation. Before we get started, I do have a little housekeeping to go over with you. If you have any questions at all, please put them into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. We can't answer raised hands during this webinar. We will come to your questions at the very end of our presentation. We are going to pull them out of the Q&A, and if your question does get dismissed, that simply means we have captured it and we'll answer it shortly. It does not mean that we are ignoring you. And now, before the presentation does begin, we'd like to ask Wei-Hua Chin for a few remarks. Wei-Hua?
Hello, thank you so much, Claire Lecca. That was Claire Lecca from Success Academy. We're so delighted that Success Academy can give us this great story of what we can do with our children. CACAGNY has been very, very involved in the education of children here in New York City with the specialized high schools, fighting against discrimination, fighting for quality education for everybody. And we know that how hard it has been for a lot of the Asians because they have been discriminated against for some of the best opportunities. And we want to make sure that these opportunities continue all the way down, not just from the specialized high schools, but down from K to 12. And if you look at the actual performance, Success Academy has done phenomenally. That we have some of the best schools, public schools, when you don't have to pay for them, that are the best in the city. We want everybody here to be aware of it, and we thank Success Academy and Claire for coming on board. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Wei-Hua, and I share the same mission as you, and I'm very happy to be here this evening to speak about Success Academy Charter Schools. And with no further ado, we will get underway right now with our agenda. Navigating elementary school options are, a very challenging task, to say the least, here in New York City. And take it from me, I am a 14-year DOE public school parent, and I have experience navigating, getting into elementary school, then transferring to middle school, and then to high school within the Department of Education. But I also have experience with Success Academy because our younger son attended Success Academy Union Square. We were founding parents. So I was sitting where you are right now, just a few short years ago, and I know exactly how you feel because there are so many options out there. You just don't know quite how to take advantage of them, and you don't know really what the best options are for your child, because every child does learn differently. And like most parents, I thought my kid was smart and I wanted him to, really get the best education and be challenged at school. We weren't really happy with how things were going in our local zone school at the Department of Education. So we looked into Success Academy. Success was opening up over in Union Square at the time. And we just, I put in an application. It took 2 minutes on the Success Academy website. And that's what happened. I just, entered the lottery and we won the lottery, and the rest was history. And we had a very good experience at Success Academy Union Square with Owen. He was doing science 5 days a week, and it was really something that I actually wanted to share with other parents, which is why I joined the organization. And I've been working here for 10 years in the enrollment department. So we're going to be talking about what is a charter school. I'm going to go over over that with you. We're going to talk about how Success Academy does compare with the G&T program. Our older son did go to the district G&T school. And so I do have actually the information for you on how it was different from Owen's experience, our younger child's experience at Success Academy Union Square. So next slide, please. We'll play this moonshot video for you, though, first, before we start the main presentation.
2 minutes to countdown. Just hold it up right about here.
Oh my god, just like in the movies.
Look, take one. Somebody give me a moonshot.
Moonshot. I would define moonshot as taking a big leap of faith.
A lofty goal.
Taking a risk.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
You look ahead and you see your dreams come true.
It takes discipline, thoughtfulness.
Confidence is key.
You have to give it all your best. Easy. You just get in a rocket ship, then fly up to the moon, and then you did it. Wow. My biggest, wildest dream is to be a scientist.
A diplomat.
A mechanical engineer.
A cinematographer.
A head trauma surgeon.
A research biologist.
A police officer.
An entrepreneur.
A physicist, a chemist, and a soccer player. I want to be all three things.
I want to be a leader. Hopefully CEO.
Having a cat, a white cat. Because I already have a different cat that is not white.
The future, it looks bright.
My future basically means me being successful, me having the #1 company in the world.
I am going to cure diseases. I will build a hospital.
If I learn about all the natural disasters, then I can warn people all around the world.
Nothing is impossible.
We're setting an example of not being scared to improve.
Just because something's hard doesn't mean you stop believing.
The world is growing and we have to be moving with it.
If we don't have new plans, our life is gonna be a little, boring.
We all have big hopes and dreams for the future, and that all stems from having a good education.
School is your friend, college job, career, then your whole life is set.
I feel super confident, proud,
Determined.
Excited.
I'm feeling pretty prepared, yeah.
Because I know if I put my mind to something, I know I could actually do it.
There's no limit to what I can accomplish and that I will accomplish.
I'm ready to do big things.
I'm gonna change the future.
For myself, I would just say actions speak louder than words, so just watch me.
I got this.
I got it.
I got this.
You got this. We got this.
So Moonshot is a really big deal for us here at Success Academy. We are driving towards our Moonshot goal of doubling scholar preparedness and ensuring
Welcome into this week's edition of the Recruiting Breakdown. My name is Jerry Hamilton, joined as always by Justin
Scholar preparedness. Moving right along, let's switch to the next slide about charter schools. Public charter schools are free public schools open to all students. So charter schools are independent of the New York City Department of Education. What does that mean? We do not follow the same curriculum as the Department of Education. Because Success Academy is a charter school, that gives us the freedom to write our own curriculum. And we do just that. We write our own curriculum in-house. We have things like science 5 days a week. That does not happen at the Department of Education. So we're able to do those types of things, but we have very high standards that are placed upon us. So we have to meet certain goals. We have to have an audit every year of our finances and of our education to make sure that our children are meeting their benchmarks. We can also respond to community needs and put student learning first, which often doesn't happen in Department of Education schools. So our authorizer is State University of New York. So we answer to SUNY, and our charter is renewed every 5 years. Next slide, please. Let's talk a little bit about what Success Academy has to offer your child. Choosing the right elementary school, essentially the right kindergarten for your child, is one of the most important decisions that you're ever going to make. It is also the decision that causes parents and families in New York City a lot of stress. There are a lot of deadlines. There are a lot of things that you have to know about choosing the right kindergarten. And hopefully we're here this evening to help you do just that. We feel that it's our job to make school really interesting for kids. That's what we do at Success Academy. Success Academy has more than 50 free public charter schools that serve over 20,000 K through 12 students across New York City. We are in 4 boroughs of Manhattan: Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Manhattan. The only borough that we're still not in is in Staten Island. All of our students are admitted by a fair and impartial random lottery. We are not a testing school, so you don't have to take a test to get in. We don't see your child's preschool grades, and there's no reviews that have to be written by teachers in order for you to get into Success Academy. All you do is apply on our website to take part in the lottery, and then it's a fair and random lottery. 20 of Success Academy's 30 elementary schools are the top schools in New York State. So it is quite worth it for you to apply to Success Academy. We'll go to the next slide now. Okay, so we are a K through 12 option for your child. So every aspect of Success Academy school design from kindergarten through the 12th grade is in service of college preparedness. So starting in kindergarten, we're already preparing your child for 4 years of college. And that is really just part of our school design. In elementary school, we do focus on those core skills of reading, writing, and math, the development of the whole child. We do science 5 days a week. We start chess in kindergarten. We have visual arts. We have blocks class for kindergartners, because we know kindergartners love to play with blocks. And we have sports at all of our schools, basketball or soccer, depending upon what location you are accepted into. And we also think it's important to develop scholars' poise and confidence when they're speaking in public. So we do start that pretty early. Our middle schoolers do have a solid foundation of core knowledge that they have gained in elementary school, and they are going to be mastering the strong study habits that are going to be needed in high school during middle school. So we really are trying to lay that foundation of those strong study habits all the way from 5th through the 8th grade. And we want them to definitely excel once they get into our high schools. Now, by the time they go to high school, they are fully prepared to take advantage of the many opportunities that we provide for them in high school. We have a groundbreaking program that actually equips every single student that we have with the skills and knowledge that they need in college and in life. We have free SAT tutoring. We have AP classes. We even have summer experience programs where scholars could spend about 4 to 6 weeks at Phillips Exeter or Phillips Andover academies, where they can get an experience doing that so they can be fully prepared for the next step. Next slide, please. I'm going to go over a little bit of our curriculum now. At Success Academy, we believe in a value-added education and differentiation. And what do we mean by that? We can tailor our curriculum to the high flyers in the classroom and the struggling learners. So we want to lift all of the kids up. So we spend a lot of time working in small groups at Success Academy. So your kids will be divided up into small groups based upon their reading level and their math level. We think this is really important because then the kids that are the high flyers, they can go faster within that group. And the kids that are struggling more will get extra added attention from our teachers. We think that critical learning is really important. We want your kids to fall in love with learning. That's why we have science 5 days a week. They're doing more than 100 experiments every year in elementary school, starting in kindergarten. Starting in kindergarten, they're learning about key science concepts like physics, like chemistry. They learn about mealworm habitats and how mealworms live. That was one of Owen's favorite experiments in science class in 1st grade. He loved learning all about mealworms and what they did and how they lived and exactly what they ate and everything like that. So that was really fun for him as well. we have that major focus, and that does set us apart actually from other schools. There is no other school in New York City or even in the country that starts kindergarten 5 days a week, starts science rather in kindergarten 5 days a week. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have Asian enrollment in New York City charters jumping nearly 25% over the past few years. Asian families do believe in education, and they believe that it's a strong predictor of future success. And many are looking for an academically rigorous education. And so many have chosen Success Academy because that's what Success Academy does offer. They're finding just that in our schools. These are some of the schools that have the highest Asian enrollment. As you can see, Success Academy Union Square, which is the closest location to Manhattan's Chinatown, that has right now for this year a 34% population of Asian students. And then we do have Bensonhurst in Brooklyn is the next highest percentage, and then Hudson Yards. But you can see the table right there. I do want to highlight a number of reasons why Asian families are choosing Success Academy charter schools. It's not only the academics. We do celebrate Chinese New Year, and that specifically happened at Success Academy Union Square. That was a very big event at our school every year. We would invite families in, and we would have a whole Chinese New Year presentation from the scholars to our families. And that was a lot of fun. We also have a multicultural potluck day at each one of our locations, not just at Union Square, but at all of them. And that happens before Thanksgiving. And this is when all the families, each individual family will bring a dish from their native cultural heritage to the school, and we'll celebrate in that way. So that's a really fun event as well. Next slide, please. Just a little bit about our extracurriculars that we offer at Success Academy. And we have quite a number of options for your kids. We have network-wide opportunities and school-based opportunities. We have a kindergarten through 12th grade choir. This is a very prestigious opportunity that is by invitation only. You do have to audition for it. So kids from all over our network auditioned for it. There were only 100 slots for the choir, but they do end up performing pretty much everywhere in New York City. They've been recently, I believe they were at Lincoln Center performing. So there are a number of performance opportunities for them if they join the choir. Our soccer program is really excellent. Your scholar will receive personalized evaluations and coaching. They can play in our external leagues and tournaments. And this year, 2 of our high school players were actually drafted by pro teams. So we're really proud of them. Our chess program is excellent. If your scholar likes to play chess, they can always join the chess club at their school. And then if they're really good, they will be nominated to join the network team. And those teams do travel to various chess tournaments across the country. And this, of course, is also free of charge. You're not paying for it. Success Academy does pay for that. Next slide, please. And this is just some more of the things that we have. We have visual arts, we have dance class, we have theater and music. I did want to point out that we do a lot of field trips at Success Academy. We live in one of the greatest cities in the world, and we like to take advantage of that. So we do have field trips. We call them field studies. We go to places like the Met. We go to the Museum of Modern Art. We go to the Brooklyn Museum of Art. We go to the Big Apple Circus. So there are a number of places that we go to, and it's really fun. Our scholars love it. And that happens about twice a month, which is a lot more than it would happen in Department of Education schools. Next slide, please. I wanted to quickly go over the 2023 School Digger rankings, as you can see right here. And we're really, really proud of Success Academy because, as you can see, we've taken the first floor slots right there. Those are the top schools in New York City. So Success Academy Bushwick, Bensonhurst is second, Upper West is third, Hell's Kitchen is fourth, as you can see right there. And we only operate 35 of the 839 public elementary schools in New York City, but we hold 5 of the top 10 spots. And as you see right there, Union Square is number 10. So we've done a pretty amazing job. Next slide, please. So the great part about Success Academy is that once a family is accepted into Success Academy, they don't need to reapply to go to middle school or to high school. Now, if you're in the Department of Education public school system, you always have to reapply at every stage. So not only are you applying for pre-K, 3K and 4K and kindergarten, elementary school, you're reapplying for middle school, and then you have to reapply again for high school. So you don't have to do any of that at Success Academy. Once you're in, you're in. You've won the lottery, you're in. You're guaranteed a seat in one of our middle schools and then again in one of our high schools. Next slide, please. So the proof of a Success Academy education is in our numbers. And as you can see from our middle school numbers right here, and this has not been a good year. National math and reading test scores for 8th graders in the United States overall plummeted to the lowest levels in decades. But Success Academy middle schoolers actually achieved extraordinary results on their Regents exams. And these are tests typically taken by high schoolers. You normally don't take Regents until high school. So my older son, Dylan, when he was in middle school at Lab Middle School in the 8th grade, he wasn't taking Regents yet. He took his Regents when he got to high school. He went to High School of American Studies at Lehman College, which is a highly ranked specialized high school. But yeah, he wasn't doing that. But at Success Academy, we're already preparing middle schoolers to be able to take those Regents exams. So they're learning how to do this in middle school, and those are their results right there. So we had all 831 of our 8th graders sit for the exams with 99.8% passing the Algebra 1 Regents. And you can see the chart right there. Next slide, please. And just a little bit more about our high school. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know most of you are only looking for elementary school in the younger grades, but I do want to warn you, it does come around very quickly. So just to lay this out for you, we have free intensive preparation for the PSAT, the SAT, and AP exams, all paid for free of charge by Success Academy if you do join us. We have AP classes and statistics, calculus, biology, and computer science that are available. We have electives like debate, music, and chess and track in our high school. The summer experience program that I did mention before is also free of charge. So your scholar would just have to have an 80 or above as their average in order to be able to apply to one of those programs. And we have a lot of those programs. We have one with University of Southern California. We have one with Boston University. We have one with the Berklee Conservatory of Music in Massachusetts. So we have a variety of different programs depending on what your child is interested in. They can apply as long as they have over an 80 average. Next slide, please. And these are just some of the full range of AP courses. Those are advanced placement courses that are necessary for your child to get into college. Colleges do like to see that high school kids have taken a number of these classes. Next slide, please. And these are the results, Success Academy high school results versus specialized high school results. And as you can see, we're at the top there. We had 100% taking at least one advanced placement exam and we had 81% passing at least one advanced placement exam. And these are the numbers compared to the other schools. And as you can see, I'll point out Stuyvesant only had 78% passing. Next slide. And this is just a very small sampling of some of the colleges that our most recent class of graduates were accepted into and are attending right now. So they're in their first semester right now attending these highly selective colleges, which I listed on the left. And that's only a small sampling of them because I couldn't fit all of them onto the slide. But as you can see right there, there's names like Duke University, Georgetown, Emory, that's where my older son goes right now, Yale University. 72% of all of our graduating seniors received admission to selective and highly selective schools. So we're really proud of them. Next slide. And this is just a look at our application timeline. You would just visit successacademies.org to apply. I'm going to show you how to apply after I finish this presentation. In just 1 minute, I will share my screen with you, and I'll show you exactly how you can apply to Success Academy. Essentially, you apply right now. Our application is open as we speak, and this is for the 2024-2025 school year. You would apply, and then our lottery does take place a couple days after the April 1st deadline in 2024, and you'll hear what your results are by mid-April. Usually by April 15th, you'll get your results via email. And that's how it works. It's really a simple process. The good part about it is now is that if you go onto our website, we can actually translate. We have embedded Google Translate into our website now, so it can translate it into any language that you need to apply. Okay, next slide. So I want to bring in Jen Wang, our parent ambassador from Success Academy, Cobble Hill. She is going to, there she is. Hi, Jen.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? So this is Jen Wang. I wanted to introduce Jen to you. She is a Success Academy Cobble Hill kindergarten parent. And I just met Josephine. We were at an event in Brooklyn over the weekend at Brooklyn Navy Yard. And she was quite amazing. I'm sure she's an amazing scholar. So Jen is going to summarize exactly what I was talking about in my presentation, but she's going to do it in Chinese for the next 5 minutes. So Jen, I'm going to hand it over to you.
OK， 这边的话我就帮那个 Claire 翻译一下刚刚他所说的，我们这一所的学校。那我们这个学校是一个特许学校，然后目前的话，我们这一边是对外开放的哈，然后是不用交学费的，只需要在网站上面申请，然后申请的步骤是很简单的。那申请的方式是以抽签的形式来录取到这所学校的。那目前的话，这一所 Success Academy 的话，它是有到kindergarten 到12年级的。那一旦你入校之后，那你之后的高中跟初中跟高中，那你就可以接着进去上，那不需要重新再申请的，然后是完全免费的哈。那目前的话，我们这一边有在4大区，有在 Brooklyn、曼哈顿，还有皇后区，还有 Bronx， 总共有32所小学。sorry， 然后这些。那目前的话，我们只是 Staten Island 是没有的，那其他的4大区都有的哈。然后这一边的话，会有那些 club， 然后这些 club 的话，我们会有音乐、跳舞，还有象棋、画画，这些都有的。然后，对，那一旦你进入高中的话，那到时候会有 会有一些 AP 课程，那这些的话是帮你补，就是说你之后上大学之后，就是说可以用到的一些，然后在学校里面是可以是完全免费的，这些都会教你，学校都会有这些课程给你去上的。I think pretty much.
Was that it?
Yeah, just yeah.
So maybe you can tell them how to apply. So if they go to the website, successacademies.org/apply, and I'm going to share my screen right now to show it to them, and then we can walk them through how to apply on the website.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. One sec. Okay. Okay.
好，然后这一边的话就是我们进入这个网页，然后进入网页的话就可以直接申请。
So I'm here at the start of the application. And so do you see this little, I'm going to toggle this to
然后旁边
Chinese
的话
simplified.
翻译可以按 Google 翻译，然后你可以选语言。
I'm trying. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. So it actually, you can translate it into any language you need as long as you have Google attached to your browser. Can you tell them that if they have Google attached?
对，
they
然后
can
你这
translate
边的
it.
话，你是可以选择中文，那或是其他语言也是都可以的。
So
然后它会直接翻译成中文版本。
I think you have to be on Chrome. I'm not completely 100% sure, but it's better to probably do it on Chrome, so then you'll have the Google option to translate. But it's a very simple process. We would just enter an email address. So I'm just going to enter an email address here.
那这边你就放你的邮件。
And then I am going to make a password.
这边就你申请一个账户，然后弄个密码。
Let's see. No, hang on one sec. Doesn't want to give me, it doesn't want to make me come in there. Hang on one second. I have to go to forgot password. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, as you can see, it's pretty simple when you go to the application portal here. I'm going to wait for my forgot password. I'm going to have to go retrieve that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask Jen a couple questions about her experience at Success Academy and all the great things that Josephine is learning. So Jen, what were you, when you were looking for kindergarten, what other schools were you looking at and what made you choose Success Academy ultimately? If you could explain that.
Do you want me to say it in Chinese or like?
Yeah, most likely Chinese, yeah.
OK, Claire 刚刚问我的问题就是说，我当初为什么会选 Success Academy？ 那一开始的话，其实有很多选择的。那我们附近也有很多天才班，然后甚至我们家的那个 Zone School 也是一个非常好的学校，我们也有10分的学校。可是我们当初就没有去。那我们最终的选择去这一所的学校的原因，就是因为它课程教的东西其实跟相对来比的话是跟天才班的是差不多的。然后主要就是它还有很多课外的活动，也就属于说我们会说叫兴趣班。那这些兴趣班的话，好像有跳舞、有画画，还有象棋，这些都是都有在这所学校里面的。反正这些也是完全免费的。那目前的话，小孩子的话，他的成绩就是说他们教的内容也比正常的 DOE 的系统教的 比较多一点。那就好像我们也有很多一些其他的小孩子，之前 Pre-K 认识的那些，他们现在在正常的一些不就正常的那个public school 里面，他们就教的，比如到目前为止，他们就教到比如说1到20，或者他们就刚刚才开始学 ABCD 怎么发音，怎么去读，怎么发音。可是目前的话，我们这边我女儿的现在在她这个班上面的话，她已经开始，她从8月份读到现在，她已经可以读到 Level C 的书，然后数学的话也会1到200了，所以课程的话是教很多，所以我非常很喜欢这样子。
So, in regards to Josephine, what do you think that she is learning at Success Academy that she wouldn't be learning in another school in Brooklyn?
I actually just mentioned that earlier.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. So I said like because her level like learning right now from public school that we also have pre-K friends that we still hang out and then we talk about. They only have been learning numbers from 1 to 20, and right now they're not doing like, and then even with the reading, a lot of them they don't even know how to read yet. But meanwhile, Josephine already in her level C book.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I'll just go back to Chinese. 他一开始是真的就不会读，而且我们的话在家里也没有说，一定要他怎么样，或是他必须要读，或是怎么，完全就是学校老师就去帮他。他们每一天去学校，他一开始我们在家里说，有时候就说家长我们比较懒一点或者怎么样，然后可是他就去学校，老师会帮他，会教他怎么读怎么发音，然后很多的时候不会的话，老师就会更多的时间去帮助他去，就是说从一开始 Level A 不会，他甚至其实我们第一次大概在10月份的时候，我们去学校开个会的时候，我就发现我女儿什么都不会读，她真的连 ABCD， 她一开始就从 Pre-K 学了 ABCD， 可是一下子就这里面才上4个月的时间，她就已经会读书了，我还挺惊讶的。
Excellent. I, of course, don't know what you said, but it sounded like it was great. So, Jen, how about field trips? What field trips has Josephine gone on that she loved this year?
目前的话，我们有去一个 Apple Farm， 然后那边我们还有 Pumpkin Patch， 所以目前家长呢，我们都可以跟着去的。然后家长的话，并不是说所有的家长都可以，也是抽签形式的，因为有家长有一些就毕竟一个班有那么多学生，所以不是每个家长都可以去的。然后他是非常喜欢，因为去的话，他可以跟着他的所有的朋友、老师，然后他们去那边学习。
Great. So we do have a number of questions that we have to get to right now. So Jen is going to be standing by here. She's going to be translating the answers to the questions. We have one question. My kid is in first grade in public schools. Can we still apply for SN? Yes. You can, definitely. You can definitely apply. You would apply on our website, successacademies.org/apply. I'm also going to send you a thank you for attending this webinar, and I'm going to send you a link to apply, so you could wait for that as well. But you can definitely apply. Our applications don't see each other, so the DOE will not know that you've applied to Success Academy. Our application is only on our website. It has nothing to do with the Department of Education. So they don't see each other at all. You can apply to as many schools as you want to apply to. But yes, you can definitely still apply to Success Academy. The next question is, wait, Jen, you might want to translate that.
刚刚我们这边有一个人问的问题，就是我的孩子现在在1年级，然后是在public school 里面，那是否可以申请我们这所学校？是可以的，随时都可以，不管你在哪个年级，你都可以申请。然后你可以申请很多所学校 ，DOE 是看不到的。Yeah.
Great. Next question. My family might move. Can we move from one SA school to another? Yes, you can. And many families do that. So many families do move to different neighborhoods, to different boroughs, and they will put in for a transfer. The process is usually done through your school, through the main office, and you'll speak with your school's principal about that. And that's how it's done.
如果你们就刚刚还有另外就是说，如果你们改地址或是换地址，你们是可以换学校的，是都可以的。
Great. I don't really understand what is the difference in teaching that makes SA students perform so much better than public schools. Can you explain more? That is a great question. So, from a Success Academy parent, I can tell you that they are teaching your child how to critically think. And I think that really is very helpful when the scholar is taking the test. So they see numbers in a completely different way. Like when you and I might have been learning about math, I was stacking numbers, I was borrowing and carrying and things like that. They don't learn math the same way that we learned it back when we were in elementary school. There's a whole new way they're teaching it to them. That makes them very nimble with the numbers. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that we start very early in kindergarten, preparing your child that they are going to have to be taking tests, because that's how things are measured in the United States by testing. And so we don't shy away from it. We actually, they start taking tests in kindergarten. And so they're learning how to actually take the test. And so that's something I actually really appreciated with my younger son, Owen, is that he was learning how to take tests in first grade. He came to Success Academy in first grade, and he was already getting tested in first grade. They would not have been doing that in the Department of Education school that he was previously in. They wouldn't have started to do that until third grade. So we're actually starting that a lot earlier, and they're getting used to it. And so they just think it's like part of their school day. And I think that is a major part of why we do so well on the state tests. Our students, oh yeah, go ahead, sorry.
这边的话就是考试，那因为我们从kindergarten 就一直有在培养孩子就去考试，然后怎么回答这些问题，就好像我刚才就说kindergarten 现在数学他们就已经在理解一些应用题了，就简单的那些应用题他们就已经准备好了。
Next question, are students tracked? Do students stay with the same group or grade, or do they change? So students, if you mean by tracking, does the teacher know if your child is a high flyer and they might need to be in like a more advanced reading and math group? Yes. I mean, we don't call it tracking at Success Academy, so it's not like the standard tracking, but the teacher will know, okay, little Johnny is already reading at like a sixth grade level and he's only in kindergarten. He's going to be needing these more harder chapter books, and we are going to give those to him. So yes, we actually do meet kids where they are. It's not going to matter whether or not that child is already reading at a sixth grade level. We're not going to keep him back in that class in kindergarten when the other kindergarten scholars might only be reading at a kindergarten level. So we do group them off in whatever group they're going to be in. And if that means that little Johnny is reading with fourth graders, then that's what happens at Success Academy. So we have mixed reading groups and mixed math groups where they'll be differentiated into those groups, and they will be with other scholars that are learning at that same level.
如果有说分区的话，那就比如每个班的话，他们都会有一定的分区，就有一些小孩子读书的等级不一样，或是有一些小孩子数学能力不太一样，那他们都会有等级的。就好像有一些，比如说他们只会读简单的，比如说比如说前期的，比如说level A 的书，然后他们就会有 level A 的 小组 B、C 这样子小组的，然后数学也是同样的。
Okay, does SA provide school bus service to kids who live further away from Success Academy? So that is one thing that we do not have. We do not have busing. Our schools do begin early in the morning. So we begin at 7:45 a.m. and we let out at 3:45 p.m. So this is not at the same time as the Department of Education busing. So we don't have busing. We give out Metro cards. Every student has a Metro card starting at the beginning of the year. Our families travel using public transportation, or if they have cars, they drive their kids to school. I know a lot of families who get together and carpool, or they have one family takes the kids. There's ways to manage the whole travel to school thing that is Success Academy, and it is one thing that you do have to consider when you are, choosing whether or not you're going to come to Success Academy. But that is one thing that we don't have. Next question, am I allowed? Oh, go ahead, Jen, sorry.
学校是没有提供巴士的，都是坐地铁的，然后学校是会提供地铁卡，然后时间课程的话是比较长一点，是7:45到3:45，所以然后正常的话我们就是坐地铁有巴士，或是然后我们有一些就会附近的邻居、附近同校，我们都会有一个小群，然后就可以跟其他的家长商量一下说，比如说就沟通一下，couple 的话就比如说，你接孩子，或是我送孩子，你就跟其他家长沟通一下，然后就互相帮忙一下。
Okay, the next question, am I only allowed to apply before grade 4 for Success Academy? So that's the way it used to be. Last year was the first year that we started accepting 5th and 6th grade students at a few of our middle schools. So all of our middle schools were not open to outside applications. It was only 5 of them in the Bronx and in Harlem. So it was just a handful of middle schools that were accepting those applications. So we have that again this year. So you can apply for 5th and 6th grade, but there are only certain schools that are accepting those applications. I believe it's about 3 in Brooklyn and 2 in Harlem and 1 in the Bronx. And that would be listed on the application. So when you are applying for a 5th or 6th grade seat, you will see the schools to which you can apply for there on the application. And it's only, I believe it's 6 of them now.
如果想要申请5年级、6年级初中生的话，那是目前的话，并不是所有的学校都有开放给外面的学生，因为我们是优先是目前在小学这一边的学生是优先权先去初中的，然后目前的话有开放的话，大概有5到6所的学校吧，然后在那个网页上面你是可以看到的，目前大概是有3个Brooklyn 区的，2个 Harlem， 然后1个 Bronx。
Next question, can you skip grades? Yes, Success Academy does believe in skipping, but it's not up to the parent, it's up to the teacher. So there will be an assessment. If your child's classroom teacher believes that they have mastered everything that there is to know in kindergarten or whatever grade that they're in, and believe that they can handle the material that's in 1st grade, they would have a meeting with you. They'd call a meeting with you and they'd ask you whether or not you would want to try them out in the 1st grade. So there are some trial periods that you could have with that if you weren't really that sure whether or not you would want to skip your child, but it is a school-based decision. It is not a parent-based decision.
可以跳级，比如说比如说老师觉得你的孩子已经达到1年级或者是 K 班的0级，他是可以跳级升到比如说2年级或者怎么样，可是这就要根据老师觉得这个孩子所有的成绩是 达标了，然后他是可以去上2年级，然后也是有一个试用期，试用的，就前期比如说先看一下你能不能，比如说跳到2年级或是怎么样。
Can you talk more about parent involvement? Yes. So our parents are involved. So we have a lot of parent involvement in the community because we have very strong communities at our school. So it's unlike a Department of Education school where some schools may have a great community, some schools might not. So every Success Academy school has a very strong community. We have something called a parent council, which is like a PTA, except we don't fundraise. So that's another main difference with us and Department of Education schools. So we're not fundraising from you at all. We're not allowed to because it's against the law of our charter. So we can't ask you at all for money. We're not doing bake sales to raise money or anything like that. The Parent Council is there to really develop our community and put on community events for our parents in the school. They also act as a liaison between the parents and the school staff. So we have very strong communities. The nice part about that is, and I can tell you from being a DOE parent for many years, that I really loved when our younger one went to Success Academy, and I knew that I wasn't going to have to like donate money every other week on the school grounds, because that's basically what happens if you go to DOE public school. They're always fundraising. So it's really, it's a different situation, but you can be as involved as you want to be in terms of like going on the field trips. We do request that at least 3 or 4 parent volunteers for each class field trip go, but obviously some parents are working and they could never attend the field trips. So you might want to contribute in a different way. There's many ways to contribute. Not all of them are things like doing something during the school day, but there's plenty of opportunities for parents to volunteer if they do want to volunteer.
家长就跟学校有多少的互动，那其实是很多的。我们学校有一个叫做 PCEC， 那就这个的话就是家长有任何有一个可以说有一个主任吧，然后他就可以跟学校的人去沟通，然后还有很多事情，就比方说目前学校的话，它有所有的活动都可以，家长都是随时都可以参加的。就好像我们现在的话，我们以前已经去了一个旅游，然后还有其他学校都10月份有一个就进去看看小孩子的成绩，基本的就看教室，小孩子在教一些什么东西，然后家长也都会出现跟老师沟通，然后还有在感恩节的时候，我们还有也有进去，也有跟老师还有校长啊这些沟通的。
Okay, and we just have time for one last question, and this is a quick answer to this question. Can 8th graders apply for SA high school? No, we do not accept new applications for high school. We're only accepting applications through the 6th grade. And as I said, that's only for certain middle schools. So the 5th and 6th grade applications, if you're applying for middle school, those schools will pop up on the application that you're filling out, and it will show you exactly which ones that you can apply to.
这边的话有一个家长问的话是8年级可不可以申请？8年级的话目前是不可以的。然后我们申请5年级以上的，然后只是特别几个学校才可以申请。
Wonderful. So thank you so much, families, for joining us this evening. I hope that you got all the information that you were looking for. I'm also going to send a follow-up email to all of you, which will have my email address on there. And we can also talk through email. You can schedule a 15-minute call from me. I'm also going to send you the link to apply. Weiwa, do you have any last words for us?
Well, I want to thank you and for a wonderful presentation. I actually learned some things that I didn't know, which would make me very, very eager to apply, frankly. If I still had kids in this system, there were some wonderful things that were told here. And I want to thank all the parents. I want to thank Jen first as the parent who was doing all the work here for doing the translation. It was great to hear all of that. And I thank all the families and parents who are listening on right now and making a difficult choice.
Yeah.
I think that Success Academy is a great option. And I want people to know that a lot of Success Academy teachers send their kids to Success Academy. Ava
Yes.
Moskowitz, who founded Success Academy, sent her own kids to Success Academy.
Mhm.
The person who runs the college board, that's the SATs, all the exams, he sends his kid to Success Academy. And there are lots of teachers in the public school system who send their kids to Success Academy. And so, do they know something? I encourage you to think about it, all the parents who
Yes.
are on this webinar, and to try to get your application in order. It took very, very little time. So I
Yes.
want to thank Claire very much for this, and
thank
hope
you.
to see you all applying.
Thank you, Weiwa, and for all the work that you do for the community to champion charter school choice. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.